So today, what I want to talk about is failure, and I actually don't believe in failure in sort of a pure sense. I think we set goals and we make attempts at things, and it either works or it doesn't work. But uh, one of the founders of NLP, Richard Bandler, said that failure is really a factor of time. That if you don't put a deadline on something, or if you're flexible, everything is an attempt. And like in agile software development, you learn from these attempts and you keep refining, and then you hopefully eventually hit your mark. And so what I wanted to talk about is the idea of planning to fail. And what I notice in talking to a lot of people and working with people is a lot of times people make great plans, but they don't plan to fail. And what I mean by that is not intentionally setting things up so that you'll fail at something, but uh, just having the understanding that you're likely to not hit your mark on a first shot, and that things invariably always come up. And I'll give you an example. I experienced this today. So today I was feeling a bit tense, and so I decided I needed to go out for a walk. And I went out for a walk, and I thought, hey, why don't I record a video outside? So I found this beautiful setting, and I sat down and I tried for the first time recording one of these talks outside. And I was very excited, and I recorded it. And when I got back just now, I looked at the recording, and the way that I recorded it was my first time doing one of these outside on my phone. The way I recorded it, the video quality was really bad. And although I believe in putting things up and that warts and all, as they say, this just really wasn't up to standards that I felt were good to put it out. So, and I will do that. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But it made me think, like, in that case, I just wasn't anticipating that something was going to come up. And then when it came up, I thought, well, of course, because things, and this is a belief, things almost always will come up. So it's better to plan that there are going to be setbacks, and plan for, okay, how do you recover? What are you going to do instead if that thing doesn't work? One time I was meeting a client who was one of our early meetings, and we planned for a certain time. And when the meeting time came, he texted and said that he was going to run about 10 minutes late. And when he got there, he said, oh, the subways weren't running on time. And what that pointed out to me was that he was planning just to be on time, and he wasn't planning for the event that things could come up. And that's just a little example. So in whatever you're planning, it's always good to think, okay, what could come up? How can I put in a buffer? How can I build in some redundancy in my plan, so that knowing that things are going to come up, how many times will I do it until I'm going to hit my mark? Or, what things can I put in place that even if I fail, or even if I fail many, many, many times, I'll still hit what I was going for. And we always learn. And so you always get to win. It's like there's always a learning there if you take it. If you stop with the idea of failure, then chances are you won't even take the time to learn what nugget was there. In this case, it was fairly low stakes. I thought I would try that. And but what I could have done was I could have gone and done a test, and that's essentially what it turned into. But I could have done a test, and that I would have known, like, oh, okay, I have to adjust things a certain way if I'm going to get it to work. So in whatever things you're planning, whatever goals you're setting, now when I'm recording this, it's February. Hopefully you're still tracking some of the things that you were shooting for in the year. As you think about those plans, what can you build into the plan so that you plan knowing that things are going to have many failures along the way, and what can you put in place so that you ultimately are successful in hitting